40 years ago, when the phone rang, it was usually someone you knew, a friend, family member, maybe a neighbor. Today, that's not always the case. Now, a lot of calls are coming from numbers we don't even recognize. And fortunately, some of those are scams. And if you're like a lot of people that I talk to, you might be thinking, I don't even want to answer the phone anymore. And the good news is you don't really have to deal with it. There are a few simple things you can do to greatly reduce these calls, and I'm going to walk you through those steps one at a time. Now, we're going to keep this simple, and I'm going to show you one setting that helps you block unknown callers, how to stop specific numbers, a couple of small changes that can make a big difference in the spam calls that you might receive. So let's start with one of the most effective settings that is especially helpful if you're getting a lot of calls from numbers you don't recognize and you wish they'd stop calling. Now, on an iPhone, you would go to settings. We're becoming very familiar with that particular app. Scroll down, tap phone. Give you a second to find that. And look for something that says silence unknown callers. And turn that on. Now, what this does is simple. If someone calls you and they're not in your contact list, your phone's not going to ring. And the call will still show up in your recent calls, but it's not going to interrupt you and ring. So what that means is when you look at your recent calls, you'll perhaps see numbers on there that you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't remember getting a call from that number. Well, the phone blocked it and it didn't ring to your phone because you don't want to hear those kind of calls. Now, on an Android, again, which is what I use, it's a little different. And here's the general idea. What I want you to do is open your phone. Now, we've been going to this settings app, I think every video now. We're not going to do that today. We're wanting to block unknown calls. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to phone. We're going to click on that. So go to the app that has your phone. Click on that. And then it should bring you to, well, mine brings me to the list of people I've talked to. And you're looking at my wife and my daughters there. These three little buttons up here. Okay, I want you to click on that. So after you click on those three buttons, what you see is some options, some other things you can click on. So after you've clicked on those three buttons at the top right-hand portion of the screen, I want you to come down to, on mine, it's on the bottom, it says Settings. And I want you to tap on Settings. Okay, and that brings you to a list of options. What you're wanting to look for is something that says block numbers or call blocking, something to that effect. And mine says block numbers. So I'm going to click on that. Now, right here at the top, you see it says block calls from unknown numbers. So anybody that's calling me from a number that I don't have in my contact list, it's not going to let that number ring through. So all those spam calls, all those sales calls that you don't want, you just click that. And on mine, it kind of turns I don't know what you call that, brown, gold color, bronze maybe. That means I'm not going to get any more calls from, and I'm turning 65 this year, so I've already started getting the calls for Medicare and the mail that comes with it. But I've already got the guy that my wife and I are working with to set up our Medicare. So I don't want any more. So I can click that. That's going to stop all those calls. So it's really that simple. So the other thing I want you to realize that you can do is you'll see that it says add phone number. So let's say we've clicked on the little switch here to block all the sales calls and spam calls. But for whatever reason, we get a phone call from someone we don't want to talk to. You know what? It might be somebody you had a falling out with, somebody you don't really care for, uh, whatever. So the job that you used to work that for whatever reason they call you on occasion. You can add that number right there and you can block that individual number. So that's the kind of nice thing about this is that you can block the spam calls, you can block individual numbers. Uh, Now, once a number is blocked, again, you're not going to hear from it again. So if you've been kind of nervous about answering the phone because of all the sales calls, this is how you stop it. It's kind of a built-in spam protection in your phone. So I can come out of that now. One thing I think we might do next time, because we just blocked all of the phone calls that's not in our contact list, which means if you have a doctor's appointment coming up or you're expecting a call from a doctor, I've got a surgery coming up in probably a month or so. Uh, I want the doctor to be able to get a hold of me. And if they're not in your contact list, you're not going to get that phone call. So I don't want to cover it today. I don't want to show you how to add the contact today. The reason being, we handle one problem at a time. And what we just did today is we handled how to block the spam calls. But I think our next video needs to be on how to add names to your contact list, because that's going to be pretty important if you you click the setting to block unknown numbers and you don't have your grandkids in your contact list. You don't have your kids in your contact list. Maybe you don't know how to set up the contact list yet and you don't really have any numbers. You got a piece of paper laying somewhere with everybody's phone number on it. Well, what we need to do is add all of those numbers into the contact list. And it's not hard. It's simply typing their name in, typing their phone number in. And we're going to take care of that on our next video. So, like I said, we tackle one question at a time, one question per video. And what are we doing? We're figuring out technology one button at a time. Now, if this helped you, because this is a pretty important video, you see horror stories all the time where people our age get swindled out of all their money, and a lot of times it starts with a phone call. And maybe you're sitting there today afraid to answer your phone because that terrifies you, that you're going to get scammed and you're going to lose your money. This is how you stop those calls from reaching you. So turn that switch on if you don't want to get those calls anymore, and you won't be hearing from them. You only get contacts from people that you know, that you've entered into your contact list. So most important video we've done so far. I hope that helps you. This is one of those videos. Share it. Tell some of your friends, hey, you need to listen to this and watch this because it's good information. It possibly could save you from getting scammed or someone trying to steal your retirement. So that's kind of what we're doing today. And again, I just want to say that don't be afraid of your phone. It's nothing to be afraid of. And as we said in the last video, I hope that you've noticed that as we're going along, changing these settings are very simple. The problem is a lot of us don't know how to do it. So we're just trying to give you some ideas on how to make yourself safer on the phone. And I hope you'll take this today. I hope you turn that switch on. Tomorrow, well, let's see, we release videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I think this is going to be a Friday video. So on Tuesday, we'll be looking at how to put names in a contact list. So if you want to wait a couple days until we do that so you don't miss any calls from the kids or grandkids, I'll understand. I'll give you a reminder after we finish that video on putting names in your contact list to turn on that do not call. or the stop the spam call switch. Alrighty, so this has been Technology After 50. No swearing. Hope you learned something today. Remember, we're figuring out technology one button at a time. Hope you guys have a great day.